Have you been thinking about getting a puppy but been going back and forth about the who, the what, the where, the when, the how, etc., etc., etc.? Look, most families don't struggle because they don't want a dog. They struggle because they know they do want a dog, but they don't know if they're actually ready, or what does ready even look like. And those are two very different things. Wanting a puppy is emotional. Ready for a puppy is structural. One is, our kids would love this. The other is, can our life support this? So it's not, do we want a puppy? It's, does our current season of life have enough margin to raise one well? Because a puppy doesn't just enter your home, it invades your schedule, your sleep, your routines, your energy. And when families get the question of readiness right, everything gets clear. So let's talk about what ready actually looks like. What does ready actually look like? Here's what it's not: perfection. Here's what it is: structure. Ready means you have margin in your schedule, not constant chaos. You can give a couple focused weeks to build routine and momentum. It means the adults are aligned, not just that the kids are excited. Ready means your finances have breathing room. A puppy brings disruption at first, and you need to be in a season where your schedule and your budget can absorb that. You want your home to be relatively stable, not in the middle of a major transition pulling all of your attention. And ready means the adults are willing to lead. Puppies don't need perfect, they need consistent guidance. That's what ready looks like. And if you're thinking, nah, we can handle that, well, then you're probably closer than you think. So, what does not ready look like? This isn't judgment, this is just clarity. Not ready usually looks like a major life transition is looming. You're moving, starting a new job, bringing home a newborn. When everything feels maxed out, adding a puppy doesn't create stability. It amplifies whatever is already there. Not ready can look like hoping the puppy will fix something, fix boredom, fix family tension, fix a hard season, but that's too much pressure to put on a dog. And sometimes not ready simply means there's no margin. Every hour is spoken for, every dollar is tight. That doesn't mean never, it just means maybe not this month. The right timing feels ready, not frantic. And when your life has space for a puppy, you will feel the difference. So let's talk about the part that most families don't say out loud: the fear of getting it wrong. What if we think we're ready and we're not? What if this puppy just overwhelms us? What if we mess it up? That fear is normal. Actually, the families who ask those questions are usually the responsible ones. But if you're trying to gauge whether you're actually ready, here's a simple indicator. Are you willing to create a simple onboarding plan? Not just buy supplies, but a plan. Who handles early mornings? Where does the crate go? What will the sleep schedule be? What training system will you follow, and who's in charge? How will potty training be structured? If you're willing to sit down and think through all of that intentionally, that's readiness. Puppies don't overwhelm prepared families. They overwhelm unstructured ones. You don't need a PhD in puppy psychology. You do need a simple plan to follow. And a willingness to create that plan is usually the clearest sign that you're ready. At some point, the decision actually becomes simple. Not emotional, not rushed, simple. When your schedule has margin, when the adults are aligned, when your finances have some breathing room, when your home feels relatively steady, and when you're willing to approach the first few weeks with intention, that's readiness. Once that's in place, you stop asking, are we ready? And you start asking, when do we want to begin? Families are currently selecting from upcoming litters, and the ones who move forward confidently aren't the most impulsive, they're the most intentional. So when you're clear on what readiness looks like, you feel steady, and that steadiness, more than excitement, is usually the best indicator that you are ready.